All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Sabre,
Yada.
Sean.
and this is
No
Disclaimers
Disclaimers
Podcast. All right.
Hey, Yada, do you realize Sabre asked us if we are ready after she already asked us we were ready, and then she asked us again if we're ready?
That's what you have to do to niggas. You gotta make sure you say,
Wow. Was I just referred to as a nigga?
a nigga.
I'm a niglet. Get it right.
Like Piglet?
Welcome to No Disclaimers Podcast, everybody. Let's start off on a positive note. Let's just jump right into it. Nike, Kaepernick, I think they redeemed themselves to me.
Get off my nerves.
All right. You can also always give props. You can criticize when criticism is due, and you give props when props are due.
This guy.
I fuck with the move. If y'all want to share the details on the move, go ahead.
I feel like there was no redemption needed. They were already good. No. But yes, for making Colin Kaepernick the face of their 30th anniversary, Just Do It campaign. And just like, I have been so drunk over the past 2 days on white tears. Like, oh my God. So much white tears. Like, all the white dads are on social media. They're cutting the swooshes off their socks and they're burning their Air Monarch 4s. Like, no one cares about them Kohl's ass Nikes. Like,
yes.
The Marshalls Nikes. No one cares about them joints. Like, oh my God, dad sneaker sales went down. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a make sure I keep supporting them.
Now your Nike socks can't stay up because you've cut the ankles off them joints, you big dickhead. And it's like, all because, the veterans and how dare you disrespect the anthem and the flag. And I'm like, you don't even give a shit about the veterans, because if you did, you would have donated those clothes you don't want to the homeless veterans.
And you already know it's not about the veterans because, like you said, they don't care about the veterans. And he's done so many things and Kaepernick has gone through great lengths to make sure he respected the military and the veterans. He went to a veteran to find out what was the best respectful thing to do.
To kneel.
Exactly. So they don't really care. At the end of the day, white supremacists, their whole thing is deception.
Facts.
Yeah.
Sean.
Anything to add on that, Sean?
Hey, I love it. I know a lot of people think it was just like a business move. Even if it was just a business move on a part of Nike, they still didn't have to do it. I just think it was huge. I think people like, Nike needs to redeem themselves. Sometimes it's like no matter what good you do, people are always going to remember that time when you didn't, or you can ever change your heart. You can ever change change your mind. So shout out to Nike.
Yeah, that's why it's important to give props when they do. And, if you're going to talk about what you felt like they did negatively, like I did last week, you could talk about, and I don't even think it was negative. I just didn't think it was enough. But if I'm going to, shout that out, I can shout out when I feel like they did something that I support. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be quiet when they do something dope, Yeah.
Sometimes people just don't let you live down past, mistakes.
Yeah, that's the social media era.
For sure, 100%. So, do y'all attend church regularly?
Define attend. It's like, nah.
So you just got her answer.
Nah, regularly, no.
Do you watch First Baptist Church of Glendora and online?
No, first of all, it's Zion. I watch Zion. Pastor Keith Battle, shout out.
Yeah, I mess with him.
But I don't attend as regularly as I used to. But I mean, I be up in that thing sometimes.
Well, you said it like it was pussy. We talking about church. I be up in that thing sometimes.
Wow. I'm going to leave you on the island with that one.
Yeah, you're alone. You're alone.
Well, I want to pretty much give you guys an example of why I don't. This past weekend, rest in peace again to Queen Aretha Franklin. She just had her 10-hour funeral. Several people came to speak. A couple people gave eulogies. One eulogy in particular had the family a little upset. They felt like it was disrespectful or whatever to her. And it was by Pastor Jasper Williams Jr. And this is just one of the reasons why I really stopped going. It's because of coon clergy like this. And
clergy.
I mean, have you just seen the ones that just went to go meet with Trump and all of that? A lot of those were coon clergy people.
That's good. Did you just come up with that? Because that was very witty.
That's probably the wittiest you've ever been. I really
wow,
respect it.
That's an insult.
What's that? I just
no, it's
and it's not the truth.
Well, it's opinion, you know. So
It's opinion, and everybody has one.
I'm sorry, I'm chuckling because I keep seeing that meme in my head that was like Aretha, and at the bottom it was like, bury me. Like, I am sick right now.
You didn't notice how Sabre said rest in peace, but then threw shade in her rest in peace said her 10-hour funeral.
No, that wasn't her fault.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like she booked the act.
Sometimes
for that
niggas
joke.
just don't know when to wrap it up. Like, they don't. Like, it's no reason why at a funeral there should be multiple pastors giving eulogies and all of them being like an hour. Like, one of the ones that we're talking about was 48 minutes. Like,
Can we
come
just
on.
give one collective eulogy? Like, hey, let's get together.
Or like
Written
several
by
10-minute ones.
Boom, 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 boom. You know?
Yeah.
But there have been celebrities with past funerals. I won't say that it was as this long, but were like super long.
Yeah,
And we gotta
that's
stop.
pretty. It's all bad. Like,
It has
just-
to stop.
Let's wrap this up. Like,
So, let me play a clip of this dude. This shit really had me pissed. So, like, let me see timestamps. But I mean, hey, this is what people deal with
clergy.
every day. I mean, every
Clergy.
Sunday.
You can't say everybody.
It amazes me how it is when the police kills one of us.
Voice blows me.
We're ready to protest, march, destroy innocent property. We're ready to loot, steal, whatever we want. But when we kill 100 of us, nobody says anything.
And see, that's where he got me fucked up.
Yeah.
That's where he got me fucked up because it's not true.
I feel like honestly, it's not comparable. Like that's the shit that pisses me off about him and other black people who are so quick to you. It's like you're doing the same shit that white people do to us as far as like stop justifying this shit on the back end. Like, oh well, what about black on black crime? Like, first of all demographics kill their own. It's a mathematical certainty. First of all, but second of all, the nigga up the street does not have a sworn oath to fucking protect and serve. It's not selective. It's not, well, I'm gonna protect and serve you, but your ass gotta go. Like,
right.
That's the problem, is that people really don't think you're supposed to hold your law enforcement to a higher standard than your everyday nigga on the street. Like, come on, bruh.
But you don't think that it needs to be addressed? Because I don't care about what other races do. Like when the young lady was shot, and then you got 4 cowards to kill her. Like, you don't think there should be any accountability held on our end?
No, I'm not saying
because
that.
they're not. Now it is apples to oranges. Like I don't agree with that. But like I don't feel like we take it as serious. I don't care if other white people kill white people just as much. I'm focused on our race. So it's like when we're killing each other over like sneakers or like clothes or money, like trivial, stupid, things like that. You don't think that we need to address that?
Yeah, I believe in black accountability. I believe that we should be held accountable for all the things that we do wrong in our community and all of those things. But to totally just separate it from white supremacy or just to totally disregard white supremacy is ass backwards. It is not our fault that Black lives don't matter to a lot of people who are in law enforcement or race soldiers who are in law enforcement. That is a whole white supremacist structure, and to take that out and to blame it on us it's not productive at all.
I don't think,
and it's very dangerous.
I didn't take it that he was blaming it on us.
It's not about not having accountability. It's the problem is that they use that type of shit to demonize us, and we're not. And when I say that all races kill their own, I'm saying that to say we're no different than anybody else. White people kill white people, but you don't hear a phrase like white on white crime or Hispanic on Hispanic crime or Asian on Asian crime. So the problem is they coin a phrase like that to demonize us when we're not any different. So yes, there does need to be accountability, but if you're going to murder 10 times out of 9, you're going to murder somebody that looks like you.
Right.
More likely. Like, I'm talking your average, not the law enforcement, but your average everyday people. You're going to murder somebody that looks like you because this country is not nearly as integrated as one would like to think it is. It's all these areas that still have high concentration of black people, white people, Asian people, whatever. So the problem is that that there's so little value put on human life, period. But that's not specific to any race, period.
But that's the thing is, like, to me, is what you kind of said. Maybe we don't like the phrase black on black crime. We can address the issue, but it doesn't need to be called black on black crime, because you said human race, human
right.
lives
Human
matter.
lives.
I mean, that's what they're saying about saying all lives matter.
Well,
I'm
that's
saying
the
stop
thing.
killing people, period.
Have you heard of people in the media talk? Because right now, white people, of course, they're in a decline right now. They're dying faster than they're being born, and you don't hear nobody saying, yeah, y'all having problems in general with fertility, but fuck that. Why would we care about y'all life if y'all kill each other in y'all community? That nobody would ever utter that. But when it comes to us, that's okay. Or if one white person kills another white person, that we should totally disregard when they kill somebody of another race, or when somebody from another race kills them because they kill each other. Why are we the only ones that has to be perfect? It's like to some of those coons, we'll never get the respect that we deserve as humans unless we're totally perfect. Our education is perfect. Our communities are perfect. We're making money. We're not doing any crime. And that's not even real.
Yeah, every flaw that we have, they use it as justification for things that happen to us. And it's not fair because we're not, like I said, we're not doing anything different or at a higher rate. Like they demonize us to make it seem like we're these criminals, we these murderers, when the reality is the system is designed, it's all about who getting caught.
Right.
When you log in murders, it's not about how we kill at a disproportionately higher rate than white people. Nah. With shit like stop and frisk and all that other stuff,
Exactly.
you catching us and incarcerating us, and we're getting penalized for it. And that's how you...
Judges being paid.
All of that. Yes. That's how you track that. That's how you get those statistics from convictions. We're getting convicted faster.
Right, because we're criminalized historically. Since the Reconstruction era, we have been targeted and criminalized for more than anybody else. If they abolish slavery and then don't let us get home loans and we're homeless, that's a crime to be homeless. Or if we don't have anywhere to go and we sit on the curb, it's a crime. It's loitering to sit on the curb, but we're not going to give you any or let you even do for yourself. So that's why I think it's so counterproductive, and I think it's very dangerous when our own says something like this. And I hope that everybody heard it with a grain of salt and was like, okay, well, we understand this is like the old coon church vibe type of thing, and this is not our reality.
That's not a reason not to go to church. That's him.
No. I'm just saying.
Let me just say, Keith Battle don't be talking like that, first of all.
He
talk like
definitely...
I agree. And I'm not saying that there's clergy and then there's coon clergy.
Yes.
And I'm not putting everybody in that
coon clergy. Church
I just didn't.
No. I'm just saying that's a lot of the old church. That is very, very common in their way of thinking.
I just didn't understand why the fuck is he talking about that? We're talking about Aretha Franklin.
I agree with that too.
You knew that this is a national platform.
Yeah, and
it's going to be viewed by the masses.
Peddle your
agenda.
Used
your peddled your own agenda when it wasn't necessary.
Because you're pleasing white people. This makes
she
a
wasn't
white
murdered
person
by a cop, like it's another person.
I'm not sure who picks does the family pick?
I'm not sure on that. I don't know if it's like but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they had something to do with it. I think he's like a well-known pastor in Detroit.
I think he's in Atlanta.
Either
Are you
way,
sure about that?
He can fucking
I'm not sure. I said that's why I think he's Atlanta.
He can go because that's just like it is.
That's where all the cool clergy pastors are in Atlanta.
It's super counterproductive. Super counterproductive, and it's inappropriate. And we have to stop adopting that narrative because all we're doing is perpetuating the same shit that white people put on us.
Exactly.
And saying shit like that.
At a funeral, you talk about the person. You reminisce. You talk about the good times. Yes. And that's it. What else is it to talk about?
I'm like, son, did you know her? Like, first
of
all.
She didn't die
in the
due
streets,
to black violence. She wasn't murdered. She wasn't gunned down.
And even with that, she didn't die from violence against law enforcement or whatever, but she was very pro-black. So this is kind of like blasphemous for her. Like, I think that people in the audience were cringing. Like, I'm pretty sure Farrakhan, who they did not let speak, was just like, I can't believe I'm listening to this shit.
Hey, but did he know her?
Yeah, Farrakhan talked too slow to...
No, I'm him. Did he know her? Because I feel like, honestly, it's like super inappropriate to eulogize somebody that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, my man.
Yeah, because I've been to funerals, and you can definitely tell the difference when my granddad passed away, Pastor Jenkins. My granddad has been a member for 25 years, and it was intimate. It was personable. People came out. I'm like, that's dope. Then when my uncle died, I guess he had just joined this church a year ago, and I was like, why the fuck are you up here? Like, you don't know anything about him.
They're like, I mean, he was cool,
Yeah, but he started talking about other things, and everybody was like, yo, same man, you need to get him the fuck off of the stage.
But something I didn't want to go unnoticed. I listened to quite a bit of it, not the whole thing, but I agree with some of the things that he was saying. He wasn't totally off the rails with that. That was just the part that I was just like, I have to absolutely address. But he talked about...
So even coons can
Oh yes,
Okay.
Coons all the
Even
time
a
can make
broke
good
clock
points.
is right twice a day. I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Jay.
So definitely he made some good points. Like people said that he was bashing single mothers, but I didn't take it as bashing single mothers. He was absolutely right as when he said that, a single mom cannot successfully raise a son by herself. And you have a son, but I'm pretty sure that you're smart enough to put males in his life.
I'm not successfully raising that nigga, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah.
But I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you're putting men who can successfully help you with that man part of it, because you don't know everything about being a man because you're not.
So
And I don't take that as a shot.
But I think but I think that's bullshit. I never, understood that you don't need to be a man to raise a man.
I think that a man is needed, and people say it with boys or whatever, or with men, raising men, but I think they equally need it in both. Girls and boys.
No, and I definitely agree. I'm just saying that I think if you're a adult, a good person,
Yeah.
you're just raising a good individual.
But
I mean, there's certain stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain stuff like, of course, if I had a daughter, which I don't, and if I was a single dad, I wouldn't know how to do, certain things. But I don't think I could. That would basically saying that I didn't do a good job or she needs a woman in her life.
So
What's the subjective definition?
Yeah,
is
and
what
if you had a daughter, I would assume that if you were a single dad, when it comes time for the cycle or their menstrual cycle or cleaning themselves properly, you're gonna say, all right, sis, can you help me out?
Of course.
That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, in my defense, I had the birds and bees talk with my son. And continue to have that talk.
I mean, it's necessary from you. I feel like it's
things.
necessary from you, and it's necessary from a man as well.
Well, he didn't get it from a man. He just got it from me. But I'm just very, very candid about these kinds of things. Like, hey, my man, look, this is what we about to do.
I think it's definitely harder. It might be, harder to relate. Sometimes you may have harder conversations. 'Cause
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine talking to my daughter about like boys, because I would never want to have that conversation. That is a conversation that I feel like, her mom,
Well, she gonna get this free smoke too. But for him, honestly, I think it was like mutually uncomfortable. But it's just something that needed to happen, and I just felt like okay. And then periodically, I bring this subject back up and we discuss it, and it just is what it is. He's used to me coming at him with this by now, so I'm just like, at this point, look, you might as well keep it a buck with me as far as A, B, and C, because we're gonna talk about it,
right?
And that's just what it is. But as the product, because I'm my age, and he's his age, which will be undisclosed. It's a little bit more relatable because it's not that huge of an age gap.
Right.
As the product of teenage parents, it's like I can come at him and I can talk to him in his speak. Versus coming off like this old parent. I'm just like, hey, my man, look. Like, You
can kind of switch roles. I mean, I know you're a mom, but you can maybe sometimes be like a big sister.
Yeah, I give him that vibe so that we can communicate candidly and it not be uncomfortable. So, but I do get what you're saying, though. Because I do have like brothers and stuff like that who are around, who are active presence in his life. Absolutely. So he has that representation as far as what he's supposed to do, things like that line that up. But it's been a lot of me though. So I mean, I see both sides though.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't think necessarily the biological father is absolute. It's to me, it's suggested, I'm sure, because if it takes two to make it, then it takes two to raise. But there are a lot of situations where you can't have that biological father, and you can substitute that with other good men in your life. And I think that a lot of women shortchange their children, because I feel like even if you have a daughter, a good, responsible male figure, because it's about perspective at the end of the day. Like, I've never experienced being a man, so it's going to be hard for me to come from that perspective. I could do the best that I can with what I'm given, but I cannot come
Can't
from
give that full perspective like a male could. No, I get it, and that's why I'm glad that my daughter has me, and she has that relationship that she has with her dad.
Right,
too, so she,
it makes a difference. It does, and it's not to say a lot of people out there, of course, they'll say, "Well, I was just fine. I was raised by a single mother, and I didn't have but." There might be something missing. You never know. You probably never sought therapy. And number two, you might be the exception if it's not. Because I know a lot of people who were raised in a single parent household that something was missing. Something was missing for me until I moved with my grandparents and then lived in a 2-parent household with them. But before then, I would have never known what it's like to look at a relationship between a woman and a man, a successful marriage, or just like a working marriage. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And know like how to handle the day to day. Wouldn't even know what it looks like if I never lived with my grandparents.
I think there's a lot of children growing up in 2-parent households and they still got a
That
single
too.
parent. Like, you know what I mean?
That
like,
too. That's real.
So it all depends. I don't know. I mean, I can never know, what the numbers are. I just know.
Yeah.
I see a lot of these successful rappers when they hear these songs. Yeah, I never had my father. Fuck them. Or these like you get these athletes when they get on and they win these trophies. I'm like, hey, yeah, my mom did by herself. She sacrificed. You look at the LeBrons. I mean, that's kind of like the story with any
Right,
Right.
it gets glorified, but I think also sometimes some of these men are discrediting some of the men who are in their lives who they don't realize did influence them, and they don't even really, you know what I'm saying? You never know. It could be that dude that was at the gym all the time. That was always, you know what I'm saying? When you was hooping in the
coaches, teachers.
That goes a long way.
I always tell men, just because you don't have a child don't mean you can't have a positive effect on a young man's life. Like even if you're like a neighbor, you know
it
what
really
I mean?
takes a village though, like
Yeah.
real life. Like it really does. I agree.
So when he spoke on that, I agree with him 100%. But maybe his delivery was, for some people that are sensitive, because a lot of people get, triggered by some of the stuff. And then he also talked about Black ownership and when we had our own hotels and how segregation didn't do much for us other than separate our money and all that. But when he got to let me play this other clip. When he did this, I was just like, I can't take him. Like I always wanted to choke him the fuck out. Hold on.
Wow.
See, I always wanted to choke him the fuck out. Like I didn't. That was like a
assault.
hard, sharp left you just made.
I know.
Black lives do not matter.
Oh, okay.
Black lives will not matter. Black lives ought not matter. Black lives should not matter. Black lives must not matter until black people start respecting black lives and stop killing ourselves. Black lives can never matter.
Like, is he trying to get a job with Fox? Like, I'm confused. Like,
I just would have been that
In the
nigga in the
church, you know,
audience, like, talk about Aretha. I don't have time for this. You're not gonna come peddle your fucking sideways poon ass agenda on my time, sir.
Nigga.
Not on my time. You're not doing on my time.
I was the fuck pissed.
Like that's so fucking
Why ain't
frustrating.
nobody go yank him off stage?
I wanted to. Farrakhan should have got one of them
just-
NOI
That's a bitch.
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
dog.
I'd have threw a brick at his ass.
Yeah.
Get off
You
the
don't say
stage.
because that's so fucking wrong
Like
on
his
so
knee or
many
something, not his
levels.
head.
Yeah, I can't even defend. I can't even like play devil's advocate on
Like
this
you
one. Like
can't say no
he's
wild
on his
monkey
own.
shit like that. Like why would you think that's okay? Like no, black lives are supposed to matter fucking regardless because everyone else's lives matter regardless of what
Yeah.
they do. These white people
He
go
lost.
and
Exactly.
shoot up churches, shoot up schools, shoot up concerts, shoot up fucking marathons and all types of shit. And
Bomb
guess what?
marathons,
Their
all that
their lives still matter. But you
Yes.
act like because we did A, B, and C, which is really like I said, no different. Actually, probably a little bit tamer because you don't see black people going and just miscellaneously shooting up wide ass venues of strangers.
Crime is actually down in the black community, but continue.
Okay, that part too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it's like, come on, bro. Like, stop justifying this shit on the back. It's just like that hater that you had, and they meet you, and they don't like you, and they don't even know you, but they don't like you. So what they do, everything that negative that ever comes up about you, they want to believe it because then it justifies. See, that's why I ain't like that bitch in the first place. That's exactly what he's doing. It's like you're trying to justify all this hatred for black
Yes.
people on the back end when we don't deserve it. Like, fucking stop, bro. Your skin is black. You go out here and get sprayed by a cop just like any other nigga on the street.
Anybody else.
So please cut the shit.
Right.
But what is more scary is because he's like a mega pastor.
Yeah. I
So
know.
so the thing is, there are a lot of people
Oh, he's in
in
it for the
his
coin.
congregation or his following, like who
Feed into
obviously
that
share the
bullshit.
same,
a
feelings
lot
that
of
he shares.
people there in power feel and share that same sentiment.
I don't be trusting mega.
Do we
pastors
ever
like
do we
that.
ever try to give older people like the benefit of the doubt because they come from like a different era, or is that
Nah,
No, because you
because
insist on being out here now. Fucking keep up with the times.
they were, and I hold them a little bit to a higher regard. Like, you need to be our representation a little bit better. You came from the white only signs and the white only bathrooms and fountains and stuff. You should have more sense than that. You saw it with your own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Especially these pastors that grew up in the South. But you have to also always remember the history of Black pastors. And they were the first upper class in the black community because of slavery. And of course, everybody knows the slave owners used the black pastors to keep the slaves under control. And this is fast forwarding to today. A lot of them are still left. It's not all, because I am familiar with Keith Battle at Zion, and I don't get that from him. And I'm pretty sure he ain't the only one. So, but those people still, they got some of those left still.
Gotcha.
So young brothers, y'all gotta get into y'all gotta go into the clergy, my niggas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta relay a more realistic, relatable message.
Yeah, I think that's, I see a lot of people, young people on Instagram and stuff like that, young pastors and all that. But I think that we just not taking a traditional route. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
because this is ain't it?
Nope.
No sir.
Let me ask y'all this though. Is there any type of job that y'all are too proud to do?
No. I'll work anywhere because I feel like.
Well, I ain't about to go shake my ass or nothing. Like
I would do anything that's going to.
That's a good point.
I would do anything that's going to put food in my kids' mouth if they're not eating. I know that sounds kind of like bizarre, but I always say this: any person that is working 80 hours, I respect them because.
And what if they only working 50?
Even if you're out there working, if you're not home, you're doing whatever you can to make ends meet. Because a woman, I'm just saying, wouldn't say what a man doesn't do for his kids, but then someone would knock a man for working at McDonald's and he's using that same money to provide for his kids. So how can you knock the way I provide if that's the only way?
Because there's some men providing.
Yes, because there's some men who don't do anything.
Right. What about you, Yada? Is there anything?
I'm not selling ass and I'm not stripping. I just feel like, and it's no shade to anybody in these industries, but it's just like, it's not for me.
I feel you.
I just feel like, I
feel like depending on the circumstances, there are some things that I won't do. But if it came to it, I will work anywhere if it came to it.
Right, I gotta get this coin.
If I'm like, okay, let me get some, like right now, let me look for some extra ways to make money. I'm not wasting time working at, Checkers. Like I'm not doing it because but if I was the only option, I'm working. How you doing? Nice to meet you. What can I get?
That was my first job. That's why I'm triggered. But,
I
was totally 16. It's fine.
I didn't want to say McDonald's. You know what I mean?
I was at
Chick-fil-A is like a step up.
So. I was whipping them motherfucking cheese fries. You hear me?
It's the step up.
Well, I feel like Chick-fil-A got like a quality standard.
You better off being a barista.
I feel like Chick-fil-A has a quality standard that McDonald's employees just simply are not upheld to.
Well, I asked y'all that because of Jeffrey Owens from The Cosby Show. He was seen working at Trader Joe's. Somebody caught pictures of him, and the media was clowning him for it.
Like, oh yeah, he had on a dirty uniform. And first of all, doesn't Trader Joe's pay like $22 an hour or something like that?
And their benefits are like crazy. They're like government package. Like
wow.
I heard Trader Joe's giving niggas the bag for that type of work.
And you get 25% off of your groceries if you're an employee there.
Oh wow!
Let me get a part-time down Trader Joe's real quick.
So it's just not the pay. So imagine
the perks, nigga. Shit,
you got $300 worth of food, and you get that 25% off. Oh, it makes a difference.
Heaven jazz. I think that's whack for people to do that because it's just like under the assumption that do you think every actor does not get to get on top and stay on top? Pause.
Yes.
The entire like for the duration of their life, it doesn't work like that. Like it's so many, but you don't think about these people and these no longer working actors because they're not visible. So it's like out of sight, out of mind. But like. Come on, bro. Like, Cosby Show was how long ago?
Did you watch the Cosby Show?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I just wanted to put out there, people might not know exactly who Jeffrey Owens was.
Oh, he was, whose husband was he?
He was the oldest one.
He was the light-skinned guy with the curly hair that was the husband.
Not Lisa Bonet. Denise.
Yes, Denise's husband.
Denise's husband.
So, I feel like it's nothing wrong with it. Like Yada said, all actors aren't rich. All of them aren't rich. And a couple years ago when they took The Cosby Show off the air, a lot of people, even Theo from The Cosby Show, that's not his Malcolm Jamal Warner, he said that, we suffered financially.
Hell yeah, because you're getting that syndication bread, and now all of a sudden the joint is completely off the air. It's no longer in syndication. You're losing money. Like, they don't think about that. But the reality is, like, I mean, fucking kudos to him for not committing suicide, first of all, because realistically, a lot of these stars that are like from back in the day who no longer get work in this industry, they can't handle it. They drug abuse, they might kill themselves, like things like that. So fuck that, man. Do what you got to do.
I don't see what's the difference is somebody who makes $70K but wants extra money and does Uber and Lyft. What's the difference? Because it's not like he doesn't work. He's just saying that he doesn't. He was never like a A1 or even a B-list.
I haven't seen him in anything since. So.
No, he's been in like he's had like short roles, but he says he still does like maybe like movies that go straight to Netflix or things like that. So it's not like he doesn't work at all. But when he's in between jobs, that's what he's doing. So
he might be working coming up soon because Tyler Perry sent him a tweet saying, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, that hey, I'm about to start shooting OWN's best drama, #1 drama. I respect your hustle. Come on, let's talk. Let me see if I can put you in it, So he might be working coming up soon because somebody like Tyler Perry recognized and respected his hustle and don't want to see the media put him down for feeding his family.
People don't realize that's actually like pretty much the norm for non-A-list actors, to be honest.
Cole from Martin sells cars.
To supplement their income while they're in between jobs and stuff like that. Like, people don't, that's actually the norm. Like, that whole waitress actress joke, it's not really a joke. Like, that's like a legitimate thing. Like, a lot of these aspiring actresses are the ones who get these smaller roles. Yeah, they do that in between. They waitress. Yeah. But in doing that, it puts them in a position to network because they're in these upscale restaurants where these executives come in and eat. And so they're like, hey, it gives them a chance to meet people, kind of pitch themselves or whatever. Yep. So there's method to the madness. Like, but you can't just judge off the strength because, I mean, what the fuck? If you lost your job tomorrow, your good paying job tomorrow, what are you willing to do to survive?
All they ask is to be lined up at Trader
anything
Joe's.
Except for,
Yeah. Right.
Anything, but yeah.
I respect that man. And I hope that he gets
any man or woman, that works.
Yeah.
It's probably a bunch of broke bums that be judging too. That's the worst part, though. It's crazy thing is most of the people who got so much funny shit and jokes to say, he probably make more than that.
But the crazy thing is, people, they say, they're humble. That's the first thing people try to attack. Like, if you get into it with somebody, like, oh, well, they work here or this and that. Like, why are you knocking? People really think if they make more money than you, that they're better than you.
Like, guess what? My Amazon checks spend just like your checks. Or wherever the fuck you work at. The money spends the same. They're not paying you in Monopoly money. Right. It's real money.
And you're not necessarily more successful because you could be making $1 million a year, but if all your bills add up to $1 million a year, your ass is broke and you living a paycheck to paycheck.
Right. And you might be unfulfilled. Because guess what? I might make less, but I might be happier than you because I'm doing something that I love and you're doing something just for coin and you're fucking miserable.
I will say this. I'd rather be a millionaire paycheck to paycheck than a thousandaire.
I mean, what's the difference? Well, I guess your quality of life would be a little different. Yeah,
but I feel like some things you can actually, I'm wild and I can cut back on. And now I am
if it was that easy, bruh, niggas be going into debt.
I feel like that level when you start spending that kind of money, I feel like those bill collectors really show up at your house. Like, nigga, we said you owe us $10,000. We want it now. Like, I feel like them niggas gonna be at your door.
Give me that piano. Give me that car. What's your kids? What's that toy your kids got? We need that too. Give me that scooter. They probably come in and
take the paintings off. Oh yeah, we know how much. Yeah.
Just take the kids. Like, you know what? You didn't pay your hospital bill. Give me these.
How many times Tiger car been repossessed?
Tiger probably just don't manage his shit right.
He spent his car no money on a hairline.
Yeah, because I was blown. Because when they... So clearly they're all leasing too, because when they said Kylie bought him a car, I was like, well, how did his car get repossessed if she bought it?
He paid a property tax. Like, no.
Nah, she stopped paying on that joint.
Honestly, leasing is the smartest thing they can do when they buy these kind of cars. They swap them out too often for you to buy it. Like, it's stupid.
That's why Cardi was looking real crazy when she was bragging that she spent cash on a Lambo.
Right.
Was it a Lambo?
Yeah, it was a Lambo. Yeah. Like, really, like, you was really pressed to prove that you didn't lease it and you probably should have leased it.
I don't know.
Probably should have.
I don't know. It depends.
But I feel like because unless it's the only ones these cars that they buy are typically like the exclusive ones that they only made a few of because you know that joint's not cycling back. Yeah. But realistically, you gonna swap this car out in like 2 or 3 years. You might as well just lease it. It's no point in you buying it because cars are like the worst investment you can make. They depreciate with value instantly. So it's like, what's the point of you wasting $500,000? You're fiscally irresponsible as fuck.
Gotcha.
Because you say it in your rap, so you feel like you gotta really be it.
Right. You also say you quick to cut a nigga off so don't get comfortable, but Meanwhile,
Dang,
so fucking
wow.
shady.
Offset about cozy than a bit.
And then people be saying they the queen and then they don't be.
But they
You know?
prove it otherwise, Chief. My thing is, so who did she jump at the club, though?
I don't know.
Oh.
Heard she
Let me
jumped the
just
side
check.
bitch at the club.
It's not. That's the thing is, there's no such thing as a side bitch.
Well, whatever. I heard she jumped somebody that he additionally was cheating with at the club, and that's just fucking pathetic at this point. Like, stop it. You gonna fight every bitch he fuck, or you just gonna accept the fact that your nigga ain't
Yeah,
shit?
I see.
Just go in the house and breastfeed and sit the fuck down. Like,
I know it's easier said than done, but I just really, it boggles my mind with people because it's just not women. Men be getting cheated on, women cheat just as much as men, and niggas be staying too. How do you, okay, one time, two time, okay, you're trying, 7 times in 2 months?
okay.
What are you
it's-
still there for?
At this juncture in life, it's like you're condoning it, and they don't realize that I'm just gonna speak because I'm a woman. I can't speak off of what like I'm speaking from the perspective of a woman as far as men. When there are no consequences for, and this could be for people, period, but especially men, when there are no consequences for a man, actually has no incentive to stop what he's doing.
But to
There's
me, the
wisdom-
only consequence is to leave.
But that's what I'm saying. If I've cheated on you 8 times and you've stayed 8 times, as far as I'm concerned, you condone it. You're okay with it. You're cool with it. You know what I do. You accepted it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I have no incentive to stop because where's the threat? There's nothing to stop me from doing it. You have. There's no consequence for my actions. I'm cheating for you're gonna yell. You're gonna cry. I'm gonna buy you a bag. You're gonna shut up. I'm gonna fuck another bitch. So at that point, why would I stop? I'm living my best life, and you cool with it. Basically, is the message that you're putting out there is that you're accepting it. So if you're accepting it, then just shut up about it, and then stop making lyrics saying you don't.
I think a lot of women are in bad relationships or they complain about dating because they like the things the nigga can do for them more than they actually like the nigga. And then they complain about it's no quality niggas out here or this and that. Where you're looking, first of all,
You're settling.
First of all, you shouldn't be looking anyway because a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So if you're looking for a guy, I mean, you're already in,
If you're not getting what you want in a relationship, and I don't mean like on some selfish shit, but if you're not getting the fulfillment that you seek, you're settling, period. So if you're willing to sacrifice your actual fulfillment for material things or image or whatever, then you deserve what you get, period. So at this juncture in life, you've set the precedent that I'm going to basically, why leave him? I'm going to give it the next nigga, he going to cheat too. Maybe not. But you're selling yourself short because you're not even allowing yourself to find out because you're just going to keep putting up with this cheating nigga. So it's like, more power to you, sis.
because he can buy you shoes. He
It's
can
all
take you
kicks
out on
and giggles.
trips that you can post on IG.
It's all kicks and giggles so you can't get that bump off your clit.
Nigga, wow.
That was
You
a
moving
vulgar,
too
but I'm
fast.
sorry. That's all I'm saying. Till you get a rash that doesn't want to go away. Yeah.
God bless him.
She's talking about poison ivy, guys.
Nah, you already know, man. That's why they said STDs at all time high right now. Why? Because I'm telling you, niggas seen Magic Johnson. He ain't died yet. Niggas is like, shit, it's sweet. they've been playing Russian roulette ever since.
I think he took a deal.
You said he took a deal.
I think he cured it.
No, be the face of this organization. We're going to give you forever ending wealth. Just be the face of this.
I think he cured it. Dr. Sebi.
Well, like he never
cured
had it.
No.
No, I think he went to Dr. Sebi in Honduras and cured that shit. And he just remained the face of it. Because he probably would have died if he told people that, hey, I got cured and this is how you can too. And his ass would have got killed. So that's
It could be one or the other. But look, the bottom line is, ever since him, niggas really just been playing Russian roulette. Like, oh, this nigga didn't die yet? Oh, bad.
I hope that's not the thought process.
It's just crazy to me that none of his, and it doesn't mean that your kids will, but if we're playing like Russian roulette, his wife didn't get it and his kids didn't get it, yeah, he never had it.
I think he had it and cured it.
Truthfully, the transmission isn't as easy as people make it seem. It's a little bit more complicated than just, oh my God, he's taking me, I got it. It's a little, but that does raise, like all of them though, that kind of does raise a little bit of suspicion.
Yeah.
But if the mom didn't get it, then the kids ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, because I know you said the transmission is easy, but like this is wife, I'm assuming that you're fucking her. Okay, all right, one time didn't get it, one time, okay, I got you, third time. You know what I'm saying? He never had that shit. He the fattest nigga with that virus I've ever seen. Nigga thick, pockets thick. This nigga, he owned 500 Chick-fil-A's. They don't even like
Fridays and Starbucks.
Yeah.
And movie
he paid.
theaters.
Yeah. Shout out to Maddie.
You give me all that money, yeah, I got it too.
He had enough money to buy some new T cells. Like, let me get 16,000 T cells.
You want me to be the face? I got
Transmit
it
him,
too.
bitch. Right? He already got a wife. I mean, he doesn't really like.
Yeah,
it's not like
he
he's
good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about Kandi and Todd. This is a very interesting conversation. Basically, it's a situation of, I don't know if the viewers are familiar with Kandi Burruss from Housewives of Atlanta. She is from Escape. She wrote No Scrubs for TLC, or she co-wrote whatever. She gets residuals from that. Very successful, got her own money, lives in Atlanta, married Todd. They have a son together, but her daughter, Riley, had a sweet 16 birthday party, and she purchased a $100,000 Porsche. And
Leased or
No, she bought her.
she bought it.
Oh, don't
'cause it was
start.
custom and all that.
Yeah, to the Riles in it.
okay.
So-
she's dumb too.
Who's also a Nicki
whichever.
Minaj fan, but
But, you know, a gift or whatever. And Todd, her husband, was mad because, and this is all alleged because we don't all know the details of their situation, but we're talking about this considering that this at face value, that this is what happened. He was mad that because he didn't know anything about the Porsche purchase, the $100,000 Porsche that she got her daughter for her birthday. And I want to know, is she wrong for buying her daughter they don't share that child together, that $100,000 Porsche? Yada, what do you think?
absolutely. Without consulting her husband, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't give a fuck whose child is whose child. I don't
Yeah.
care who came into this with what. People are like, oh, but he signed a prenup. I'm like, yeah, prenups are for when you split up. We're together. It's our assets. Granted, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I feel like when you make a big decision like that, it is something that you should at least discuss. Discuss doesn't mean you're asking for a permission slip. It means like, hey, this is what I want to do. He may have offered her a perspective that she didn't consider that might have changed her decision about what she bought that child for real, but you didn't give him that opportunity. You didn't make him feel included in the decision making. And I feel like with Sideways is that now everyone was like, well, it's her child, her money. And I'm like, okay, so if he starts treating her child like it's her child and not his child, then it would be, oh, y'all supposed to be a team. It's a marriage. You don't get to pick and choose when teamwork applies.
Sean said, we'll bring it back around. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't get what's the point of saying that it's not his child. So if her father said, oh, don't buy it, does he have any say because that's her biological dad?
It's not her dad, it's her money.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not married, but I feel like $100K, that's a lot. If our money is together, she probably has.
I don't think.
Her net worth is like $35 million, but people were confused about net worth. It's not cash on hand.
Exactly.
But her
It's
net
not
worth is
liquid, right.
$35 million.
But you know, I'm not married. I don't know how marriages work, but I feel like that's a decision that you discuss. Like I feel like anything over $1,000 is something that you discuss. I said, I'm not married, so I don't know.
It's interesting that we all agree, because I agree that she was wrong for not consulting him. She wasn't wrong for buying her daughter what she bought her, but I'm assuming that in a relationship or marriage that y'all talk. And if you're going to know that, because a lot of people saying, oh, he don't have to know, that's not her child, that's her money, doesn't have anything to do with him. But if you're going to tell your significant other, oh yeah, I'm going to Walmart later, you know, I did this happened this week or whatever. You tell them about everything else. Why not tell them about that? How does that not come up in conversation?
Well, the only thing that I say I would disagree with y'all is I don't think you should consult or talk about it. I think it should be an agreement, because that's like saying, hey, yo, we're in a relationship. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to Mexico with the fellas. Yeah, I told you, that doesn't mean that that's still a discussion I can make.
Yeah, so I took it like, it's not necessarily you seeking permission, but it is, I felt like it was worth discussing between the two of them because the outcome might have been different. I also feel like, it's a partnership. Like, you're getting into a partnership with somebody and you're combining all your assets and your efforts together. And I just feel like it's so sideways to take on, like, oh, it's her child. He's been a father figure in this little girl's life for the entire time that they've been together. So her dad is not around. Her dad don't really do shit for her. If he's around and you know what I'm saying, you should be allowing him to feel included in it, because when you want him to do something for her, it's you know what I'm saying, the story is different. So I don't like that narrative. I feel like it's definitely worth discussing with your husband. I mean, nowadays the women who were like, oh, she not wrong, to do it, like, your nigga can't even go to Chick-fil-A without letting you know that. But it's okay to buy a $100,000 car for your stepdaughter and y'all not discuss it. Like, that's backwards.
I think a lot of women don't want a dude or their significant other to tell them anything. Because what if he said no? I think that if he said no, that she still would have the right to get her daughter something, especially if it was from a us money, us account, nah.
Right.
But if it's from a her account that came from years of hard work from her shit, I think that if he said no, like, I don't agree with that, you know, if she says, well, I kind of had my heart set on it, this is really what I want to do, can we talk about it further, can we compromise some type of way, you know, I think that would be appropriate. But then again, if he said flat out no, it's like, Dad, he kind of don't have the right to her money, but at the same time, you have to, that's your husband.
But it's give and take. I feel like the justification that she had for purchasing that car for her, I can understand where she's coming from. Like, you have a 16-year-old daughter. She goes to this chi-chi-ass rich school with all these other kids who have this, and that, and I get it. You don't want her to feel like she's any different. You have the means to do it. So I understand. You want her to have the level playing field with everybody else. All these other white kids and everybody who, you know, these ballers kids that she's going to school with, you want to level the playing field for her. I totally respect that.
No, well,
he may not have, but I can't.
They know who her mother is.
But I can't judge.
She wouldn't be at the school if they didn't know she had bread.
What? No, everybody might not know who her mother is, because I mean, come on now. That
She at the school?
the point is, everyone, these are youngins. Our era, of course, we know who Candy is. These 16-year-old kids don't know who the fuck Candy is.
No, I'm just saying, I'm sure that tuition is crazy. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, you want to level the playing field with her as far as like what they have, what your child has. I get it. I totally understand it. But my thing is, that might have been a perspective that, had he, you know, you explain that, he might have felt some type of way about it. You tell him, well, look, baby, she's going to school, whatever. He might be like, you know what, you're right. You know, they could have, it could have saved a lot of trouble. The conversation should be had before the decision is made and not after it. After, it's an FYI. It's not a discussion. It's like, oh, by the way,
but even when you're thinking about it, like, that was a custom. She got it customized and all of that. So I don't have a custom vehicle, but I'm assuming that it takes more than a day, right? Maybe a week or two.
Oh yeah, the joint got riles all in it, the color scheme, everything.
Right. So with all of that preparation, and your husband find out with everybody else. If anything, I would just feel bad that I was out of the loop. And it is emasculating, because you're like, well, it's my money, I could do it anyway. Basically, like, I really don't even need you to even know about what I'm doing. Not about approval, but you don't even got to know.
Maybe he wanted to be a part. Maybe he wanted to be on the card. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he wanted to be a part of the gift giving. So you just never know, because it didn't really spell out what his issue was. But I feel like more so than that, it's not even really an issue of him necessarily policing her money. It's more so like, damn, you could have, like, we could have, you know, came to this conclusion together. Like, it's inclusion.
I honestly feel like women just feel like they can do whatever they want.
And that's not right.
When they want to do it. And not all the time, but I'm just saying, like, if it was him and he bought a boat, it would...
Even if it came out of his money.
Issue. Like you said, women do not want to hear no, or I can't, you know, do any... What you mean telling me no?
Right, but it's a discussion. It's not even, you're not asking for permission. Right. You're having an open discussion because you should value his opinion on things. Whether you ultimately go ahead and get the car because you feel like it's the right thing to do and it's what you want to do, it's like you have to value your partner's opinion enough to want to discuss it with them beforehand. And I think that's what the issue is.
He shouldn't be a dictator. Like, your man or your girl or woman or whatever shouldn't be like, oh, you doing that? No. Like, that is not a normal conversation for any couple. You're going to be like, well, I don't think this because, or I think you should do this move
16,
because,
or $100,000. Are you sure?
Right. And after they talk about it, he might be like, well, you have a point. All right, then let's go for it.
I put in on it. Like, you never know. Like,
now this will go under the, well, I don't make that type of money. Sorry. So
like, neither do we.
Minding other people's pockets. But why does 16-year-old need all that?
I mean,
don't give me that.
They don't necessarily need
I'm not surprised for a millionaire's child to get a car like that, to be honest. It's not a shocking factor to me. That was one of the biggest arguments, though, was like, $100,000. That's like Popeyes the candy. What?
I don't think that.
No, it ain't.
That's $100,000, my nigga. Like,
$100,000 is $100,000.
And candy is historically cheap.
You can buy a house in Atlanta with that. A nice jump. Like,
candy historically is cheap, which I respect, because I'm with her on that. But I think that she is a smart businesswoman, and she hasn't remained to be rich for this long for just frivolously, dishing out $100,000. So I think that she probably was like, I want to do something nice for her. You know, she probably been driving an Audi or Mercedes this whole time. Let me step it up and give it even.
I feel like she be driving shit. She just turned 16.
I don't know. But you know, you can be. She probably could have been driving before. You get your license. I know here 15 to 9 months. So,
but we were just talking about how cars have like.
But for them, it's about what you got. Like, it's about.
But that's why we're teaching the wrong thing, and we're saying, oh, she needs to pull up the Porsche so she can feel. That's
I don't think she should need that.
To be teaching our kids that.
No,
that's like saying I I have to buy SJ, you have to have these certain type of shoes because you need to fit in.
But it's the culture. It's the culture of these celebrity parents. Look at the Sweet 16 birthday parties.
That don't mean
you
it's
don't
right.
need all
And
that.
them motherfuckers don't even be celebrities, though. They just be regular people with money.
Rich people. But I'm not saying that it's right because I respect Kendrick Lamar. He got his niece or whatever, his sister, like a Honda or something, or like
Toyota,
a Nissan, Toyota,
And
right?
people remember they was flaming him?
I was like, I'm
bitch,
for it.
who gave you a car? Nobody. But
I can
Pay
see
for
both.
it. You don't got to pay for nothing.
But I don't
Yeah.
think that I don't think that Candy gave that logic to her daughter. I think she explained her logic and why she wanted to get that car. But I don't think she said, hey, Riley, other kids have this, so I'm going to get you this. I think she just knew that and she felt like, you know what, I want her to just be, you know what I'm saying, feel comfortable. I don't want her to feel self-conscious. And she pull up in her little bucket and everybody got their little Maybachs. So, I mean, like, whatever it is, as the parent, that's her right to make that decision. But I feel like you have a husband who is a father figure to your child and you should be making these decisions together because any other decisions y'all will make together. So this shouldn't be no different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know why? Because she knew he would be against it. That's why she pulled that trigger.
Yeah, that might be it. Or they don't talk.
Right.
Yeah, because I thought they were getting a divorce.
People call out divorce. I don't know either. I don't know. People call divorce any moment of any time.
I just know I've been in relationships with women. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
And then they make a decision that they didn't have a discussion because they knew what would come out of that discussion.
See, and my thing with my relationship, if it's a us thing, 100%, I have to count in his perspective at all times, at all costs. But like if it's like a me thing and it's not ridiculous, and this comes from my money that I work for, I would talk to him and get his perspective, his opinion. And sometimes his opinion and perspective changes the way that I think about something. And then sometimes it doesn't. I accept it both times. But sometimes like, I get that. But I still, based on this, and I can make a sound decision with both perspectives. Like I said, sometimes I end up taking it under consideration, and sometimes I can disregard it. But we talk about it.
Right, you have to give them
Unless
the
it's
opportunity.
like some gum.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to say,
I think
hey,
we
I'm
all
at the
agree
gas
on that.
station. Do you think I should stop at Wawa's or Costco? Like, no. It's like,
Yeah.
Did you say Costco's?
No, I don't hear that S on it.
I really didn't.
I don't think she said that. Okay.
Thank you.
But no, I just feel like you're not giving that person that opportunity when you just completely you know what I'm saying, just count them out for that. You're not giving them the chance, like, because you're so scared of what you're going to hear. But it's a partnership. Fuck it. Sometimes you're going to hear some stuff you don't want to hear, and be prepared to discuss. It doesn't have to be a debate or argument. Be prepared to discuss it. Put your views out there. They put their views out there. You come to some sort of compromise. And
like we said, we don't know everything that's going on. They could be beefing, and she could have just did it to be spiteful.
True that.
Because that's what women do.
And then on top of that, it's on social media. So you already know everyone puts their own personal spin on it. I feel like let's just deal with the facts that we do have. If it caused the issue between the two of them, I feel like it could have been resolved had you just included him.
Right.
And maybe he might not even feel the same way.
And I found it very interesting that after you sent that in the group and I brought it up in the shop, literally I was on an island by myself. Like, no, she wasn't technically wrong for spending her own money, but she should have talked to him. Everybody else was like, for what? I was like, wow, this is a golden topic because so many people, like, I'm surprised we all agree on it, but so many people was like,
agreeing a lot.
Crystal was the first person I saw on the timeline who actually agreed that it was wrong. Crystal that we had on the press.
But look,
I was like, finally.
But when you seriously, I look at when it comes to certain topics involving women and decision makers or whatever, I always look to see if they're single or if they're in a relationship. That could be very telling. So if a woman, I can't get mad if a woman has been doing it all by herself, raising kids all by themselves, make their own money, they're entrepreneurs. And I'm not saying that women that are in relationships aren't these things, but their perspective is usually a tad bit different. Ones that haven't sustained long relationships, kind of been like in and out of relationships, because they've been doing all.
That's probably part of the damn problem, though, because my thing is it's not about needing a man, but it's about you having one and you understanding that when you're with somebody and you forge your lives together, it is a partnership. It is an equal partnership.
Ask women who've been in a relationship for more than 5 years, 6 years, who own property
That's
together.
why it made sense when Crystal was like, she dead ass wrong. I was like, finally, somebody who sees the light. Like,
because I feel like they're both on the same page. He's not going to make no crazy, purchase like that, and she ain't either. You know what I'm saying? Because they're a team.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with needing a man. Like, I really hate that we're the only group that teaches our daughters mainly, you don't need a man.
Because we need.
Well, I mean, I the reason why I get the logic is because I mean, with all the you know what I'm saying, racial implements in place to separate the black family,
True.
you kind of have to raise your girls like you don't need a man because society can go and just snatch your nigga up at any
I
time.
definitely need a woman, so I feel like we will put
need
here on
a
this
girl
earth
to ride,
for companionship.
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
That's why we
And-
came from the red.
And I just think that you do need women need men and men need women. We are the only women who just perpetuate that. And not, of course, it's not 100%. This is a lot because I hear get that a lot. Well, that don't mean all. You generalizing a lot because I was even taught that. But I do think that you should teach. You shouldn't need a man to eat. You shouldn't need a man to do the necessary, you know, essential things to survive, you know, because then if you get mistreated by him, you'll still be there to, you
Or
know.
if he dies, you'll
get that.
starve.
Or exactly. Or if he dies, you'll starve. So but you need a man in general.
Companionship and among other things.
Yeah. So, and especially if you say you want kids, that is the most disheartening thing. People who don't even have kids, who want kids, who say that they don't need a man to have kids.
So I'm like, happy
That is
turkey
some
basting.
ass backward shit.
Happy turkey basting. Your baby gonna come out looking
Yeah,
like
or
a
when
motherfucking
a woman say,
popsicle.
you know, we're not protectors, or we're not, some women, not all women.
Yeah.
But then when stuff happens, well, where are the men at? Well, motherfucker, you don't need us. Go protect
Yeah.
your goddamn self.
Yeah.
Right. Handle business, Overton.
Because
Think about that
I
when
know
you
I
need a
need-
shed bed, bitch.
I need women. Who's going to schedule my doctor appointments? Not I.
Who's gonna build you a house from scratch, ladies?
Not.
Your homegirl? I think the fuck not.
I ain't even cutting
Who's
the
gonna-
grass.
Listen, men cut my
Okay.
grass.
Okay, I'm
Let me-
not.
Cutting grass is
Men cut my
intense.
grass, and my backyard is pretty fucking big. And men,
it's
yeah.
big as shit.
And I
That's
might
an
be
hour and a
able
half. You must got 2 men doing it.
It's the guy. Well, they have the ride on, Joe. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it is 2 of them though. One of them does the front paws, or one of them takes.
You got a
the back
regular
paws.
joint?
No,
it
they
takes 2
bring
hours.
they bring their own shit. We
No,
just pay. Yeah.
no, I'm just saying, if you had a regular, your
yeah.
yard, 2 hours.
Oh, easy. Fuck that.
And I ain't about to be out there. I ain't even about to be on the grill.
And it be hot as shit. Now I'll get on the grill though.
I'm cool.
I'm cool on the grill. I can get on the grill.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? I can
hot.
chef it up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
Now
I'll
you-
season. I'll
the
prepare.
gas grill be clutch because that don't be just cooking shit up fast, and you just get you some mesquite liquid smoke to give it the taste.
Women just give you an insight like nobody else. It's crazy because when women give men advice, it's great advice. It's just when women give women advice, it's horrible advice.
I actually give phenomenal advice to both sexes, but I am the unicorn.
No, you do.
I'm the
You do.
unicorn.
Yeah.
I talk to you all the time.
I'm the unicorn though.
And I always try to look at both perspectives when I'm giving advice to my girlfriends or whatever. Like I try to okay, well, did you do the X, Y, and Z like to cause
Right.
that? Like I try to
Try to
have
be
that
objective
balanced,
about it,
objective
yeah.
opinion, but you don't want one of those fuck that nigga friends. He did what? He left a toilet seat. That's why you should have got that other nigga anyway. Like you don't need
Right?
those
See,
friends.
you
I
don't
feel
even
like-
need him. Leave his ass.
I feel like when men and women have very strong platonic friendships, they give their delivery is different and they're very unbiased. And you say, okay, I trust this guy.
Yeah.
He's just not, I didn't see it that way. Opposed to
Yeah.
your girlfriend who like, fuck that nigga, this and that. I'm like, well, did you consider maybe this? Oh shit, I ain't thinking about it like that. But
Right.
women do the same thing, like, well, Sean, you didn't do. I'm like, oh shit, because it's the same thing on the guys. And guys like, man, fuck that bitch. There's more fishes out in the sea. You know what I'm saying?
Just for fish.
That's true. No, that's a real
Yeah.
interesting perspective though, because I have a lot of very successful, strictly platonic friendships with men, and honestly, those is like my I've run stuff through them before I would through like my homegirls. For real. Like on my female friends, it's maybe like 1 or 2 that I really would like, hey, look, this is like everything. We just sharing all of this. My guy friends would be like, you, but they all be like offering me this perspective. I think it's what
Yes.
keeps me like, or gives me the kind of insight that I have when I talk to other people. It is like I talk to you, I talk to Reese, everyone else, I talk to Reese all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy friends are really solid. So
Yeah.
it's like,
They usually give
But
pretty
you-
sound, logical advice.
You listen. When I talk to Sabre, it's like a brick wall.
Not even-
Remember Women of Brewster Place?
yeah.
what was the last thing?
Was that before your time?
Yes. What
Oh,
was the
honey.
last thing? Listen, I was born in 1992, okay?
You
Hey.
never
Think
see
I-
Women on Brewster Place though?
No.
You need to watch that. That joint was bomb.
All right,
Pro
I
black
might.
my ass. So anyway, I'm basically.
You don't know about something you don't know.
I'm basically Oprah Winfrey trying to get through Sabre, and she's that wall.
That's not true. What,
yeah.
what,
You haven't seen the movie.
All right, well, let me ask you this. What was the last thing you gave me advice on that I acted like a brick wall about?
Not wearing those nurse shoes that you had on.
Oh,
You still
that's
continued
just
to wear
rude.
them.
Because I like them. They're Pumas.
That's not really advice. That's just me. That's
They're
just me.
Pumas. Shout out to Puma and Rihanna. You know,
Puma kinda pissed me
I think
off,
they're
though.
the fancy ones. Yeah, they actually are the fancy ones. Black.
The creepers.
I got creepers, and then they got creeper. I got 2 creepers. Yeah.
Puma be pissing me off though, man.
Why?
Because their standard shipping takes like 7 years.
I know.
It's like, is the nigga walking it here from Kentucky? And what the fuck is taking so long? It took 3 days for them to ship it,
Hey.
and then 9 days after that for it to get. I was like, God damn, I could have made these shoes. The fuck? I could have
And what
killed
else?
the cow.
What else? And be honest, because what else? Because you be
No,
lying
no,
on me.
I'm not
You
going.
be
No,
fronting on me.
no,
Go ahead.
I'm going. No, our conversations is no. I'm not. We have
Say
barbershop
it.
conversations.
Say
This
it.
is part. No,
Say it.
No, everything that we
Nah.
talk about don't got to be discussed. It's like one of those actually when they take a picture. What they say? I forgot it.
What's understood
The
don't
dog-
gotta be explained.
No, explain it. 'Cause
No.
Right. We
I don't understand.
Seriously though, like Sean, Reese, Linden, they're like my filters though. For real, I filter a lot of stuff through them, and I'll be like that female that's like, "Hey son, am I tripping?" Cause screenshot, and they be like, "Bitch, you're tripping like shit." Or not. Sometimes
you're
I'm
not
not tripping. And I'd be like, see, I knew. But then like Linden would be like, nigga, you're tripping. I'd be like, for real? Yeah, you being petty.
Cool.
Damn. All right, cool, fuck. If Linden tell me I'm being petty, 10 times out of 9, I'm being petty. It's not very often that I get that. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, bitch, you're
Because if you think a nigga's being weird, and I'm like, yeah, this nigga's weird.
oh yeah, we have to talk about that later. That's an after the show conversation.
Yes.
I'm gonna share that to you.
I'm like, nope, you're right on with that. I agree with you, Yana.
Well, on that note, let's wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yes. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure whatever you're listening on, watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button and get the notifications for when it comes out. This was a special weekend because of the holidays, so we filmed a little bit later in the week than usual. That's why you're getting this on an odd day. Mm-hmm. But if you had the notifications on, you would have known that right away.
Gotcha.
All right, you wouldn't miss it. Cheese.
Yes, subscribe. We'll see you and talk to you next time on
No Disclaimers podcast.